Yo, 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 what's up? It's Monday, September 10th, and we finna get the show on the road. How you doing, Mr. Rev Ro? How are you doing today, sir?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good, good.
I'm good, man. It's Monday, so I can't be stressed yet. I still feel good. My mind is still, yeah. I can't be stressed yet.
Okay.
Man, you asked me that in a couple days. Shoot.
You stressed?
I'm so hot. Man, I just got a lot to do. I got a test Thursday. We ain't even really talked about what's on the test. Now, I dropped this class last fall, so I got the first test. So if it's the same exact test, I'm prepared for what I didn't answer last time to have a more successful outcome this time. If it's a totally different test, rip.
It's not finna be a breeze.
It's not gonna be a breeze. Far from it.
Not finna be a breeze. But yeah, I mean, if it's what, fourth week of school. How you been? How you feeling?
See, for us, it's the third week. You know, we started late, but
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, so far so good. I got a class that my advisor teaches that I'm not in. I'm doing it as like a tutor or kind of like an independent study thing. And he basically was like, yeah, when you get stuff done, you get it done. I'm not worried if you're not worried. And I was like, oh, okay.
Them the real ones.
You're right.
That I ain't never had in my life.
Shoot, you ain't tripping. If you cool, I'm cool. We cool.
Right, just like that.
Just like that.
Well, yeah, man, it's the NFL season, baby. It's finally here. How you feel about that? Just quick little thoughts on the NFL season.
We're supposed to be boycotting, but I'm low-key watching it, so I can't even be mad at that. I'm excited for whatever reason this year. I think it's going to be the year I'm actually going to try to more closely pay attention and follow football. So that's what's up. Everybody's happy when football's back, except for the liberals.
Okay. The whole thing, liberals. Well, yeah, I'm doing fine. It's Monday. School is starting to pick up a little bit, so that's kind of stressing me out, boy. I'm trying to be as stress-free as possible with this being my last semester and all. But just want to say hello to everybody for coming through. Thank you for coming through all early too. Appreciate you guys, and we're going to hopefully give you an amazing show today. Hopefully we can do that for you. But with that, we're going to get the show on the road with the question of the day. Of course, this is the segment when we ask each other a question and we give each other an answer. And based on that answer, we grade each other. And the grades that we give to one another are completely subjective. So please do not be offended. So I can give this man a Z. And that's not even a grade. But I can say it's a grade. But he can't be offended because it's my opinion. Listen, this is what I think. All
Fair
right.
enough.
So you ready?
You bounced off the wall, so I'm prepared.
Yep. Okay. You ready? You want me to go first?
You go ahead and go first.
I'm gonna do that. So I was reading an article today and have to do with golf.
Okay.
And it has to do with a specific person in golf. But it also had to do with another person. It had more so to do with another person, but they're related. These two people are related. Okay.
Interesting.
All right. So I was reading on an article on the other person, but the person that you do know is Tiger Woods.
Okay.
Right. So my question to you is: Tiger Woods has a niece in the LPGA. What is her name?
I was just reading something about this the other day, so I know because I synced it, and I was like, "Oh,
you synced it."
I synced it with a T.
That's a good word. That's a word of the day.
So, hold on. I felt the sneeze coming. My bad.
Good.
All right. Can I get a drum roll?
Yep.
That sounds like a diarrhea roll. All right. So final answer. is Cheyenne Woods.
Ooh, check you out. What you see? What did you see about it?
I don't know. I was looking through something. I was on Instagram or something, or maybe I was on Twitter and I saw something pop up, and I was like, "Oh, word, for real?"
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Check you out.
yeah.
Hey, that's,
Have you seen her?
yeah, she's pretty.
Yeah,
She's pretty
she's
bad.
pretty memorable.
Yeah, this is
You know,
true.
you see her, she pretty. She, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So we pay some attention around here. I know a little about a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to her. The article that I read was just kind of like a feature article on her, and she was just kind of talking about like wanting to bring African Americans to the sport, which I completely support that. I want to bring African Americans to all sports. So, for me, it's baseball. For her, of course, it would be golf. So that's awesome. But yeah, it was a cool little article. Check it out on CNN if you got some time. But yeah, you get an A+. I wouldn't say you surprised me, but I'm just proud of you. I'm glad you know that.
Yeah, real ones know.
Yeah.
You know, only the real.
Yep.
All right. So my question to you is, and see, the problem is I was going back and forth about what I really want to ask you because I had two questions. So I think I'm gonna ask you a simple one, Josh. What's your favorite? No, I tell you what, your favorite TV show, at least to my knowledge, this is a testament to how good of friends we are. I guess if I'm wrong, your favorite TV show debuted on this day, blank years ago. What's the answer?
Well, can we at least get it down? What are we just? You're not gonna tell me what show it is?
What is your favorite TV show? Because I might be totally wrong.
Like all time?
Yeah.
Probably like Fresh Prince.
Hey, that's what I thought.
Okay, so that's what it debuted today.
Uh-huh.
And it debuted 17 years ago.
17 years ago? That would put you in 2001. Are you sure?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. 27 years ago. Ooh, boy. The 90s still 10 years ago to me.
Yeah, it is kind of wild, right?
Yeah, sometimes. 20.
Your final answer is what?
Think of that. Did they be on 1990? Ooh. Dang. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 1991, 27 years ago.
I hate to tell you, Josh. You are incorrect.
It was 1990, wasn't it?
Yep, and you were so...
I should have said 1990. I knew it.
And because you doubted yourself about your own favorite show, you get a Z, man.
Dang, I get a Z.
No, but because you were so close, I'll give you I'll give you a B minus. You were so close. At least you weren't like far off, because you was finna be way far off. But I decided to give you a chance to correct yourself.
Yeah.
At least you were close, and then you had the right year in mind, but you doubted it. So I'll give you a B minus. You was close.
Yeah. Check you out for the knowing my favorite show.
Yeah.
So I was really gonna say Martin, but I was like, he's probably thinking Fresh Prince.
I knew it was one of the two, but I was positive Fresh Prince has the edge. I knew it was close though.
But alright, that's gonna get the question of the day. That's it for the question of the day. Appreciate my B minus, and Rev walks out with the A plus.
Yes, sir.
Cheyenne Woods. But with that, we're gonna go ahead and get the show on the road, and this time we're gonna start it off a little differently than what we and kind of got a little bit of a new segment where we're calling Last Week in 60 Seconds.
Yes, sir. This is
So I have
something new.
Yeah, I have my timer on my phone, and we see how well we do. Okay.
All right.
So it's gonna be rapid fire questions. Let's see. Do you have your questions?
I've got. I'm hoping we ain't got the same questions. I guess we'll figure it out as we move along. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we forgot to go over this. All right, well, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, timer starting now. So last week there was a controversial Nike ad with Colin Kaepernick. So I just wanted to ask you what you thought about that, real quick.
My thoughts are: stop being so mad, people. It's not that deep, and don't burn your stuff. You've already paid for it. Nike doesn't care. They're still gonna get their profits. For every person that doesn't buy it, 2 or 3 people will buy it. So they're not gonna be hurt at all by it. Get over it.
Yeah, it's on you.
All right. So last week, also, right after us talking about Khalil Mack and when the deal would get done, he got traded. What are your thoughts on the trade? Bad move for the Raiders?
Yeah, it was a horrible move for the Raiders. They should have just paid him, and he paid dividends yesterday in the game versus the Packers, even though they still lost. Had an interception and a forced fumble and fumble recovery. So yeah, it was a dumb trade.
Yeah, we'll get back to that later. Also, by the way, just to throw in, Gruden said that Khalil didn't want to be there. So interesting. Anyway, what you got?
So you got the KD and LeBron song from that dropped last week. What did you think about it?
I'm not even gonna lie to you, Chief. Didn't even waste my time. I bookmarked it with the intentions of going back to it. Never did. Anything with KD's name on it is a hard pass. So take it back.
Oh man, I just gotta get my quick thoughts, man. That song was tough. KD was spitting. LeBron's verse was trash. That's all I gotta say.
To be honest, of the two, I expected KD to be the decent one, but
yeah.
Oof. All right. So also last week there was the. Oh man, my mind just went blank. Well, there you have it. Last week in 60 seconds.
Yeah, that was last week in 1 minute and 34 seconds.
Dang, 60 seconds goes by quick. We'll have to. 4-word answers from now on. Those are the main 3 things I think to really bring out from last week.
Yeah, so those are the main things we were going to talk about on Friday.
Absolutely.
So we touched on that. But yeah, that was last week in 60 seconds. So we just wanted to break you guys down on. We do apologize, by the way, for missing all of last week. But we're back, so no worries.
Back in action. The balance has been restored.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and get to some more of the topics for the day. NFL Week 1. I mean, what else do you want us to talk about? Football is back. Football is back, finally. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. People are hyped. Especially, certain people are hyped. You know, there's a portion on all sides of the spectrum that are like, I'm done with the NFL. But for all of those people, there are 3 or 4 people that are like, oh, sweet, NFL football's back. So it's got people hyped.
Yeah. So what were some of your takes from Week 1 Sunday, and even today? We got Jets and the Lions playing right now, and the Rams in Oakland play in within the hour.
Oh really? I might have to try to catch that one. So yesterday I watched that Panthers and Cowboys game. For the majority of the game, I caught it in the second quarter. And I just want to say, if you're a Dallas fan, I feel bad for you because y'all doo-doo. Y'all fake cheeks. Your quarterback sucks. I won't say he sucks, but dog, yesterday he was awful. I mean, from top to bottom, y'all were just disappointing. But Dak, it just looked like some of those passes, I was like, dog, I could have got paid a couple mil to throw that. Like, what you doing? And it was fourth quarter, and they could have made a run, and then I think it was an interception, or he got sacked. I forget how it happened because I forget, but I was like, are you serious? So yeah, what a bad time to be a Cowboys fan. But I gotta shout out the Browns. Josh, do you know how long it's been since the Browns have not started 0-1?
Yeah, 2004. I saw the stat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man, that's 14 years.
Yeah.
You know what we were 14 years ago, dude? Yesterday was the first time in 14 years that they still didn't win, but just the fact that they didn't start with a loss.
Yeah. I think
it's sad. That's the biggest accomplishment.
One of the headlines that I saw, well, the Browns didn't lose finally, but they didn't win either.
Yeah. So I guess if you're a Browns fan, there's hope. Like, you're close. At least you're not losing.
That's crazy to start that long without a win, start the season without a win. And I'm pretty sure they've
Last
made the
14 years.
playoffs. They've made the playoffs in that span at least once.
Last 14 years. As soon as y'all come out the locker room, y'all already know it's a L. Imagine that feeling.
Yeah.
Tragic.
Yeah.
But it's interesting who they played yesterday. They played the Steelers. And we all know some things going on with the Steelers right now.
Yeah, we got Lizzie Curry said, "What's up? Hey guys." She said, "How do you guys feel about the Ravens this year? What do you think?"
No comment. Next question. I'm very, 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 very part time in it, and this will be the first year that I really attempt to be devout about changing that. So I can't really have a comment one way or another.
I think Ravens will have will have. Hopefully, I want to see Lamar Jackson start by the end of the season. I mean, Joe Flacco's had his time a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Well, more than anything, I want to see at least what they do with Lamar Jackson. I'm excited to see Lamar Jackson to see if he can um be a star in NFL. I always support all the black quarterbacks, so except RG3. Um,
Oh,
no,
ouch.
I'm just playing. I like RG3, but also I have Alex Collins as one of my fantasy running backs, so I'm a fan of him. He got me a touchdown yesterday, so yeah, the Ravens. I don't really even know. I can't even tell you as far as their outlook on the season. I think they should be pretty good though. They got some. I know the offense is good. I'm not sure about the defense. Like ever since they lost Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, I don't really know what happened to the defense.
Yeah.
What's been going on with the defense? But I was going to ask you, as far as the Cowboys, how much of their terrible quarterbacking do you think has to do with um Des Bryant being gone? Also,
Uh,
early candidate for Petty Betty of the week, Des Bryant was trolling the Cowboys throughout the entire game, and if you look at the tweets, it's actually pretty funny. But go ahead, answer the question.
well, what I will say is that a lot of the times I saw that the Cowboys were looking bad, it really just was solid defense by the Panthers. So I can't necessarily say that Des Bryant would have helped or hurt them because defense is defense. I mean, because you still got Zeke out there who's pretty solid but for all intents and purposes. But in between defense and just some pretty questionable decision making, it just didn't look like they had it either way. So I'm not going to give Dez too much weight here. I don't think he really would have changed it by much. He might have helped him make it a little closer, but I mean, Carolina, Cam was doing his thing. You know, he's also a runner as a quarterback. He don't just sit back and pass. So he was helping a lot. And then that Carolina defense was doing some work too. So
On the bright side of things, they did only allow 12 points.
yeah.
So the defense might be nice, and Carolina Panthers is not one of the top offenses, but it was okay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they just look decent because they played the Cowboys. I don't know. It's hard to really say, but they look good yesterday. Cowboys, not so much.
Also, in some other NFL news, man, did you catch Sunday Night Football yesterday with the Packers and the Bears?
I think I fell asleep during that game. I was trying to do an assignment, but I know what happened.
What a hell of a game!
Aaron
Hell
Rodgers
of a game.
Paul Pierce wheelchair moment.
Yes, man, that was really great to see. It was awesome.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Stephen A. Smith got him characterized very well. He is a bad man.
Absolutely.
And everybody says that because of Stephen A. Smith, but like he is a bad man. It's nothing else you can say.
Yeah, I mean, that was a tough play. Some tough plays, period, to even get back into it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think a lot of teams down. What? It was 20-3, right?
No, it's 20-0 going into halftime.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams, it'd be easy for them to give up at that point and just kind of take the L and be like, yeah, well, next time, you know. But especially when you just lost your QB and you don't really know whether or not he will come back, probably. So for him to come back and y'all to still grab that W, that had to feel good as a team because the odds were all but in your favor.
Yeah. Yeah.
So shout out.
Well, if you didn't see it, like we said, he was down. The Packers were down 20-0. Aaron Rodgers got hurt in the first quarter, I think. And they took up to the locker room and everything. And oh, we got a subscription. Thank you, Lizzie Curry. Shout out to you. Appreciate it.
Hey,
That's 32 on our way to 100. But so yeah, he had to go to the locker room. He couldn't play. The team was playing like horribly. Like the quarterback that was in had a fumbled the ball, threw an interception to Khalil Mack, who balled in that first half. Didn't really do as much in the second. But and then Aaron Rodgers comes in and literally put the team on his back. Like I have never seen a quarterback put his team on his back like that, and it was just a complete switch from having Deshaun Kaiser at quarterback, who's god awful. Like, geez, it didn't seem like he hasn't played quarterback since high school. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers came in, the team boosted their morale like a whole bunch, and they like legit started balling. Like it was two possessions in a row where it was like it was a short pass turned to a long play, and they would catch it and run forever. It was Randall Cobb got the go ahead touchdown at the end of the game, and I think the time before that, yeah, it was Devontae Adams who kind of caught it. It was like a medium pass and ran it down the field, and they eventually ended up scoring again. So man, that was a hell of a game.
yeah, it was. I knew that he had to leave the game, and I knew that they were down. Like I said, I was trying to do homework, and I ended up falling asleep
Yeah,
and woke up like 2.
yeah, I was doing
And
homework, and I didn't. I watched like the end for sure, but kind of in the middle when they started to make that comeback, I wasn't really paying attention.
yeah, I woke up and saw it and was like, oh, for real? They came back? So it was a surprise to me. So I guess at this point, if you weren't an Aaron Rodgers fan, you got to believe it. And he said playing behind Brett Favre for a couple years, he gave him the idea, tough.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And then at the end of the game, he gave a great interview as well. Uh, and it was like, yeah, I'll be playing next week.
yeah,
He was like, yeah, I was in the locker room, whatever, whatever. But I knew I had to play, and I told the doctor I'm playing. Came back out, played, and she asked him if he was gonna be playing or his status for next week. He was like, yeah, I'm playing. And he's
yep,
just like, hey, that's a cold. That's a cold. He cold. He cold. Well, yeah, it was a great game. Was there anything else that you wanted to speak on? This game that I'm watching right now, Jets are blowing out the Lions. Like the Lions look horrible. Stafford's got 3 interceptions. Sam Darnold was looking like a beast. You excited for the Rams? I see Gary said Rams about to go ahead and take this dub tonight. What you think about the Rams?
well, before I get to that, you mentioned the Jets are blowing out the Lions. It's 48-17, right? So that sounds like a really bad blowout. A real blowout was that Baltimore game versus the Bills. That
Yeah,
blows my mind.
yeah, yeah. I forgot to
47 to
mention that.
3. Y'all couldn't do nothing. Nothing?
Like not a dang thing.
Yeah. So yeah, the Rams, I don't know. As a St. Louis person, you always got a little bit of saltiness with you because you're like, that was our team. But I don't know. I hope the Rams do well. At heart, you always kind of want to see them do good, regardless of where they at. So it'd be nice to see them do well. And the Raiders, you overpaid a guy that hadn't coached in I don't know how long. I don't feel like he deserved that much money, but then you didn't want to pay a solid defensive player. So I gotta say the Raiders take the L in my mind for being donkey of the season already.
I don't think they're donkey the season for trading Mac. All right. Well, I don't know if they say he don't want to be there. I mean, yeah.
I have a hard time believing that's truly the case. I feel like if you offered that man what he doesn't say, nah, like
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
That's true.
You didn't even at least extend that offer. At least the public doesn't think you did. Whether that
Right.
happened or not, we can't say.
Right.
The public eye, you didn't even extend that offer. And then, like I said, to pay Gruden so much as a coach,
I like Gruden. I think he's gonna be a good coach.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that you willing to pay him a lot of money?
But he got 10 years, 100 million.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like it. I like him.
I
So
don't know.
I
I
wasn't
feel
mad at
like
that.
if you're willing to do that, you should have been more open to the concept of paying Khalil Mack. It's not like he didn't earn it.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm going for the Rams in this one. But something I meant to touch on earlier, I mentioned briefly that the Steelers did pretty well um, against the Browns. Or I guess the Browns did really well against the Steelers. We didn't expect them to actually be that decent. And the surprising thing about the Steelers is how well they did missing Bell. So a lot of people did you get a chance to watch that game at all?
No, I couldn't watch it at all.
A lot.
Uh, I mean, I was kind of following on my fantasy app, but um, I saw James Conner really ball the backup.
Yeah. And so do you think this is a case of you had a good game, or do
I
you
mean,
think he can be a decent replacement? Because some people I think are like hyping it up like we don't really need Bell, but calm down now. Like he had a good game, but you can't tell me that
no,
you can easily replace Bell's production.
yeah, you can't. But I like James Conner. He was the running back out of Pitt, and I liked him coming out of college. I thought he had a lot to show for. He was actually the one that I think he had to miss some time because of cancer, I believe.
Mm.
He had to miss some distinct. It was cancer or something that he had to miss some playing time. Um, and he had a good last season at Pitt. And yeah, so I liked him coming out of college. He obviously can't replace Le'Veon Bell because he's not. He's. I don't think he would be as effective as a receiver as effective as Le'Veon Bell is, because you could literally put Le'Veon Bell anywhere on the field and he's a problem.
Yeah,
But yeah, on the run as far as rushing, he's a beast. I like James Conner. No, you don't replace Le'Veon Bell like that, but and obviously they missed him because they didn't win. They tied as well. Um, but we'll see. I mean, I, trust me, the Steelers nation is not happy about tying with the Browns of all teams. So, and I saw Ben Roethlisberger had 3 interceptions. So I don't know. I
yeah.
mean, it's gonna be a story. It's gonna be a continuous story for the rest of the season. We'll just
Especially after, as a team, there are differing opinions on the whole Bell situation. Last week, there was some linemen that came out in a not so favorable opinion as to what's going on with Le'Veon Bell.
which was
And
whack.
yeah, which first of all, to me, as a grown man, don't be so concerned about my pockets. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna be mad at me for wanting to secure my bag?
Yeah,
Especially in this sport, like my time could be limited. I could get hit next week and be
right,
done.
right.
So how you gonna be mad at me for wanting to secure myself financially and all these other people getting paid? Like, you don't get to say that because you ain't on my level. So it's easy for you to be like, I'll just play. I'm on a level that I should be getting this money. So I don't feel like that's okay for you to say that. And then as a teammate, it never looks good for you to come out and say that type of stuff
Right.
openly.
If they was gonna do that, they should have did that behind closed doors.
Yeah. If you got a problem with it, y'all are teammates. I'm sure you have a way to contact me. You can say something to me. Offensive lineman Marquise Pouncey, why play hide and seek? Why let your agent say this? Just man up and tell us what you're going to do. Why don't you call him? I'm sure you have a way of texting him. And then offensive lineman Raymond Foster, he's making 7 times what I make, twice as much as Al is making, and we're the guys who do it for him.
Yeah.
I just feel like, those aren't the things you should really be saying to the public. And then that took him by surprise because he was in the comments on Instagram and said, whoa, and AB backed him up. And he posted a picture and said, we all we got, we are ready to roll whenever you get back with us, family. So that doesn't look good as a team when you got some people publicly voicing that they're kind of pissed off about it. And then, your other stars are coming out like, whoa, chill out. We got them, so.
Yeah, and then they kind of like the excuse that they are not. It's not an excuse, but it's like the thing that they always say about holdouts, or it's like the player is making it about himself and kind of causing a controversy for the team. Well, the players mentioning it and talking about it is making it even more of a controversy, like making it
Yeah,
even more about not about football. So it's it's like a lose lose situation for you to even comment. So like you can't even necessarily be mad at him. It's like when somebody tells you to shut up, but to say shut up, you got to be talking.
right.
So you can't be
I just
mad at
felt
him
like,
if you're also doing the same thing. Like you're making as far as the media wise and making it a bigger thing. You're also contributing to that. So
yeah, I feel like just keep your mouth shut. That's that's what I like to call in-house business. I don't
handling
feel like,
business.
yeah, you need to. I don't feel like you need to openly voice your disappointment with the situation or your displeasure. Like that type of stuff, you keep within the family.
Yeah.
You know, openly say that. So that was my biggest problem with it. So it'll be interesting to see how long this goes out. If they do end up paying him, what they decide to do with him. If they don't, this will be an interesting storyline up until it finally ends because we don't really have any indication of will it.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna at least end by week 10. So
Yeah.
because he has to in order to um for it to be the last year that he can get franchise tag, he has to sign a franchise tender by that week before week 11. So the latest he'll be back is week 11 because he's obviously going to sign a contract and play for the last however many weeks of the season, depending on how well they do in the playoffs. Um, but if he can obviously do it before then, but that would just remain to be seen. But yeah, that's it for the NFL talk. I think I wanted to mosey on over to the kind of pretty big news in sports from Saturday with the whole Serena Williams controversy in the U.S. Open. Um, did you see what happened? Did you have any thoughts on what happened? On kind of like it was really unfortunate actually, in my opinion. But what were some of your thoughts on the Serena situation in the U.S. Open?
So I didn't actually get a chance to watch it. I was out and about at the time.
Okay. Yeah, I
But of
was
course,
too actually.
like everybody has by this point, I've seen the articles, I've seen the clips to hear where the discussion is going. But I don't know. I feel like to me, it kind of bothers me. It's being made that big of a deal that she wasn't happy with the outcome. It's not like she's coming right out and saying, he cheated me. I should have won the whole thing and blah, 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 blah. Like she said, I do kind of feel like he might have cost me a game, but tennis ain't just one game and it's done. You know what I'm saying? So she didn't just totally discredit her competitor. Um, and then to me, with any sport, if an official makes a bad call or a questionable call, every athlete is going to call him out, period. It don't matter what level. I have a cousin he'll be 16 this year, and I mean he plays soccer and he's gotten yellow cards, and he one time got a yellow card because an official said something, and he was like, "Really?" And dude gave him a yellow card. So like all ages and all genders are gonna call out an official for something. Like you're never gonna just suck it up and take it for real. So how is it not okay for her to publicly say like, I'm not happy with this, or for her to publicly display like this ref is irritating me with these calls? That's what bugs me, because you act like athletes aren't allowed to be emotional or aren't allowed to feel like they're wrong.
Right.
And with tennis, I've seen people get pretty passionate, and I hate usually when I try to make it an issue of woman versus man or black versus white, but in some cases it kind of feels like there's reason to believe like you might be right. And then from Serena's perspective, there's the whole issue with the suit thing. You guys had a problem with that. And then I get a thumbs up, a very universal thing. And then you like questioning if I'm cheating or not, or getting coached or getting signals. So I can see how I can feel like y'all kind of got something against me. So it's an unfortunate situation, but congrats to, I'm blanking on her name right now, but congrats to her.
Naomi Osaka, I think. Osaka or something.
Yeah. I just knew it started with an O, but yeah, congrats to her. I mean, it was a historic victory.
Yeah, and that's something I did want to touch on. That's why it's really unfortunate because it did take away from her. She's 20 years old. She wins her first U.S. Open. She talked about how she dreamed of playing against Serena Williams. Um, and that's kind of the that's I understand like some of the people that are criticizing her for that kind
Hmm.
of doing it and like showing up her even though I mean she was losing at the time. Um, but at the same time she does obviously like I don't discredit her. Like I don't think she was in the wrong per se because
Yeah.
she's in the moment. She's not gonna. I understand her not wanting to wait and just lose and then kind of have to talk about this with the referee. And yeah, she really is standing up for herself because the referee was basically like she said accusing her of cheating. And
Hmm.
then like if you're a real for me, like I know personally, like I have a lot of integrity. Like I don't like to cheat.
Yeah.
So if somebody accused me of cheating, it's like no, you're not finna just try to make these people think that I'm cheating just because somebody's giving me a thumbs up. Like he's not coaching me, he's just giving me a thumbs up. Like um so yeah, I see that side of it of like people saying like she kind of showed her up, and I do understand that she did kind of help it at the end when they were at their award ceremony when they were giving Naomi the trophy and she told people to stop booing. So she showed her class there and was like, "This is not her fault. Like, don't take it away from her."
Yeah.
So I appreciated that, and Serena's always really good at that. She really isn't selfish, and I honestly don't think she was trying to show up. She just was in the moment defending herself, and it just so happened to kind of take away from Naomi's moment. Um,
Yeah. I mean, because any game where in every game there's a winner and loser, and just because I lost and am not happy with the officiating does not mean I'm discrediting the winner. I'm not saying that if it weren't for the officials, I would have won. I'm just saying I don't feel like I got a fair shake because of it.
yeah,
I feel like it could have been more competitive or it could have been closer or maybe the outcome changes if, but I'm not saying definitively this person is whack. If it weren't for the officials, I would have won. And
yeah,
then I get with at the award ceremony with her. She kind of brought it to herself, I guess, because she was speaking to her fans, because her fans were the ones booing. But she's saying, we'll get through this. There's nothing to be sad about or whatever. So it's kind of like the focusing on the we and the us instead of like you could have just, I guess, snipped it at, hey, I win some, I lose some. This isn't anything to do with her. Congratulate her. And that could have been it. But there was a lot of like, we'll get through this and blah, blah, blah. So I guess I can totally see, like you said, how people feel like she was trying to overshadow the moment and all of that. But she did give credit. And
yeah,
then I felt bad because Naomi felt the need to like apologize because she won. Girl, it's not your fault that you beat her. Like, you won.
right.
The fact that you even feel it's necessary to apologize because people are upset that you won. Like, to me, that's ridiculous that she should even feel like she was put in that position.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, and then also I will say this: I did read an article kind of on from the referee's perspective, and I found out in an article that he actually is pretty strict. Like he typically does men's tennis matches. He's only done. Well, I just say this: he does more men's like finals, big games than women's. He
right.
and he has a really good reputation, but he has a reputation of being stricter than other referees. Like even with the men, like there was an example with Rafael Nadal, and he penalized. I can't believe it. I don't remember exactly what the penalty was, but he penalized them because of a similar situation, coaching or something like that. And Rafael Nadal in a post game interview, like, was talking about it, kind of was upset about the penalty, but also at the end of that interview said he respects him as a referee. He's still like a really good referee. Also, Venus Williams had a similar situation where she was getting penalized by his name is Carlos Ramos. Um, and she had her they had a little feud on the court. Um, Again, I don't remember exactly what it was. I don't think it was on the field coaching. It was something, um, or illegal coaching, I should say. It was something, but it's he's well known throughout tennis, and he has a lot of respect that everybody gives him credit. He's a great referee. He's actually one of the better referees, according to this article. And
Hmm.
like I said, they also said that he's known for being strict, more strict than other referees. So that is, I just give that. The article didn't touch. I felt like the article should have given a little more of Serena's case on the article, but it was more so. It was just about him. It was a pretty good
Right.
article. It was on New York Times, and so I would. That was just a little tidbit of information for you guys who didn't know about that. Or so it's. I'm not going to say it was just him being racist or sexist. Yeah, maybe that has something to do with it, but maybe it was just kind of extenuating circumstances where he's just trying to be strict, and it came off to Serena Williams as sexist. It's
Yeah.
possible, but it's possible either way. And like I said, more than anything, I feel for Naomi. I would think that's my kind of biggest takeaway from it, is just an unfortunate situation for her, like you saying, having to apologize for that. But yeah,
Yeah, because also I feel like and Jaden brought it out in the comments. You see people saying she was out of control, she was having a breakdown, and I mean she doesn't help it. Like some of the stuff with you being in the public eye at a public event, and then also a televised event, people pick up everything. So they see you sitting there talking to him, saying, "Say you're sorry. Tell me you're sorry. You owe me an apology." So you see both sides of it, but for real, like y'all really gonna act like she just had a breakdown and a tantrum, like she doesn't to a degree deserve to feel some type of way.
yeah,
Because if you as an athlete feel like you're questioning my character or you're unfairly like penalizing me, you're going to be upset. It doesn't matter who you are.
yeah.
So that's something that bothers me. And then there was a cartoon that was drawn.
Oh yeah, that cartoon was awful. Wow, that was
Yeah,
racist. That was so
yeah.
racist.
And I that bothered me too, because first of all, it's a little over the top. You show her like jumping and stomping on her racket, but then the fact that she got the like big old lips
Yeah,
and
big nose, all
yeah,
that.
super big arms, and,
And she's
you know
huge compared to Naomi, who's in the background.
exactly. And then the ref is saying, "Can you just let her win?"
Yeah,
Like, okay, come on now.
like
Nobody's saying
like
all of that.
they acting like Serena has not lost before. Like she's lost
Exactly.
plenty of times, and every time she
Plenty of
loses,
L's.
she's known for losing with grace. Like she's dominant, but at the same time, she knows how to lose, and she loses respectfully, and that's why she's, in my opinion, one of the greatest. She is the
Yeah.
greatest, in my opinion.
So, and then that's my problem too. When you have that reputation, and then the one time, justifiably in some people's minds, pissed off, just all hell breaks loose. Like, dog, as many times as I didn't gracefully step back and accepted it, I have a right to at one point be like, okay, now this is BS.
Yeah. Yep.
So that kind of bothers me. Stop acting like athletes aren't human. They
Ye-
they deserve it as much as we do. If you aren't happy with something, you're going to show it. Period. So
Yeah. Going in.
just
Going again to the comment section. Adrian. Say consistency is wait, consistency in refereeing is a problem across all sports. Yeah, that's very true. It is, especially in a sport like the NBA or even baseball with the umpire behind the plate. Um, but yeah, like I think it at least made me feel better that he was known for being a little more stricter, so that kind of gives me like some hope that he wasn't just trying to be sexist with her. It just gives me more context to what happened Saturday. Then Daria came and said, "I don't believe that Serena was overshadowing Naomi. It's a sports match, so that was equally her moment, just as it was Naomi's. Much respect to Naomi. Yes, that's a fair point. They both get to share that moment, and like you said, it was equally. They both had that moment, so they both can. They ain't throw another interception. They both can, do it's like you said, they share that moment. Jaden also came back and said, my mom was like, they doing that to cause her, doing that to her cause she wears that black outfit that she isn't supposed to. So they did it to her because they trying to teach her a lesson. Well, that's an interesting take on it, and that would definitely be problematic. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It wasn't because I don't know about that though because it wasn't the U.S. Open who it wasn't the people from the U.S. Open that gave her that penalty or said anything to her about the black outfit. That was Australian Open and their president. They're two different bodies, but it's still fair to take the you know somebody like you said teaching her a lesson. That's fair to say. Let's
Right.
see if Derek came back and said if this was Kobe being called a cheater and he's cursing out the ref and the Lakers lost, he wouldn't have been questioned or for his motion and blamed for stealing the moment. Yeah, that's an excellent point. Because obviously the NBA players do this all the time. But I will say that this situation is a little bit different because they have the microphones to where you can hear what the players are saying and they don't have those. And don't get me wrong, we know what the players are saying. We like, I'm not trying to be ignorant to. I know they're very critical of the referees, but I feel like for this one, it kind of put a little bit more of a controversy into it because you literally heard everything that she said.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like everything. It wasn't anything that was in question. Like she said everything. And I feel like that's part of the reason why it blew up so much. Had it been to where you kind of just had to like read her lips and couldn't really hear what she was saying, like it was in the NBA,
Yeah.
it would have been a little bit different. But it probably still would have caused as much controversy. But I feel like that it probably would have been covered a little bit differently, I
Yeah.
should say.
I uh I agree too, because that's part of what I was saying. You got the camera right in your face and the mics can pick up everything. And, like I said, people can visibly see and hear you saying, "You owe me apologies. Tell me you're sorry." That doesn't help your case. But I also feel like, to me, discrediting somebody's victory is more so like, and LeBron couldn't say this because he had an inferior team, but like people tried to say that he was discrediting the Warriors or the sweep because he mentioned his hand after he had already been swept. So they were like, "Oh, he trying to discredit them because all of a sudden now you got to." So to me, if Serena came out and was like, "Oh, I've been dealing with this the whole time," that would be discrediting.
Yeah.
But to simply just mention that like you're upset with the officiating, to me, that's not discrediting
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah. No, I
Because like I
honestly.
said, I'm
No.
never taking away from my opponent's skill level by saying the ref made bad calls.
Yeah.
You're still a hell of a player and could have beat me regardless. But he didn't help my position in certain spots where I felt like I could have executed if I didn't get penalized or got this foul called on me or this whatever.
Yeah. And
So,
yeah, I don't think she was discrediting her at all. Like I said, she showed a lot of grace in a class at the end, telling them not to boo her and really congratulating Naomi. So yeah, I appreciated that.
yeah. So
Uh,
that's what I think was probably the biggest takeaway.
yeah, that was yeah, I agree. But yeah, that's all we had to talk about in tennis. That was kind of the huge topic of the weekend. And even it's still going on to this week. I went to what website was that? I went to CNN, I believe. It was CNN. No, it was Rolling Stone, and all of the articles on Rolling Stone were about Serena Williams. So yeah, that's just a huge topic. But yeah, that's all we had. Did you want to do the NBA stuff?
Yeah, it's just real brief stuff. Like I said, it's off season, so there's no need to devote major time to it if it's not truly super big news. So first and foremost, last week, Luol Deng was finally bought out of his, or this was maybe, yeah, this was last week. I think about this time last week actually. He was bought out of his contract with the Lakers, which was a horrible contract, as most people will say, and soon after that, you automatically wonder who's going to get him. Well, none other than his former coach in Chicago, Tom Thibodeau. The Timberwolves were on him like white on rice and very quickly reached out to Luol Deng. And of course, they've agreed to a deal already. It's only a matter of time before it's officialized. They've agreed to it, but nothing has been almost 30, which he was with the Lakers, to basically sit there and do nothing. So I know the Lakers are happy to get rid of him. Continues to pick up players from his Bulls team. They have Taj Gibson, Luol Deng. They've got Jimmy Butler too. So you think it's weird that he keeps trying to, like, he wants that old thing back? The Minnesota Timberwolves? Like, is that weird?
I think it's not only weird, I think it's very dumb. Um, for some of these cases, Derrick Rose is okay. I understand that. Jimmy Butler, I get that. Because Jimmy Butler is still a pretty good player.
Yeah.
But for people like Luol Deng, well, even I know I understand Taj Gibson as well. But people like Luol Deng, and even if he does decide to get Joakim Noah, I don't understand. Like it's I feel like it's weird.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like well, Adrian says he doesn't feel like it's weird, but it doesn't but he doesn't make sense. Yeah, I don't think it makes sense either. Um, yeah, it's like it's not 2009 anymore, Tom. I don't think he can. And even and the crazy thing is that 2019 they were a good team, but they didn't make it to the finals.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe in his mind they were on the cusp. And Chicago, I think, has a bad front office, really. And in between front office decisions, injuries, it never really just got to pan out. So maybe he's thinking, even if this is just, if your old starting five, or at least four of your starting five, is now your bench, maybe that gives you one of the better benches and it gives you a shot. I don't know. Because who really knows how good Luau might still be, if any, because we haven't really seen him at all. And Joakim Noah, I've seen plenty of videos of him getting back in shape and working out and working on having a shot and actually being able to, step out in some range. Every center is trying to shoot threes now. So I get how you could think maybe he'll be decent because he's not going to get a fair shake in New York. But it is just weird. I guess I won't say that it's, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird and doesn't make sense. I disagree with Adrian. It is weird because it just feels strange. Like you're coming in and getting everybody. Like I'm expecting pretty soon to hear Heinrich is back, and so is Dunleavy and Nate Robinson. And Nate Robinson had a tryout with them last year. He had a workout with them last year. So it just feels like you trying to get as many of your old players as you can. And some of these guys, the reason they are like this to me is because of your system. Like Jaden brought out, it's his fault the way Derrick Rose is, which I'm not going to fully say that, but like you have a system known for you have a system known for grinding out your players and having super high usage rates. Like people talked about LeBron's usage rates. The whole Bulls team had those numbers, basically. So people blame him for Derrick Rose being in his shape. People blame him for Luol Deng kind of declining. So it kind of makes you wonder, like, you got these players that are already kind of older, and they've been through a couple systems. Derrick Rose has shown he can still be okay. But, like, to me, Joakim Noah is a question mark if you do decide to get him. And so is Luol Deng. Like, who really knows what you're going to get out of him?
To combat that, or to kind of play devil's advocate, maybe this is knowing that, like, his system, like you said, he's been criticized for usage rate, and he's also been criticized, like, for his practices. Knowing that, maybe he knows that these are guys that actually buy into the practice, and he feels like if he can get some of those guys on his team, they can, what's the word? They can like spread that on the younger players, and because that's another thing about this team. It's obvious that he's had trouble with these younger players on the team. So maybe that, to kind of play devil's advocate, that does make it kind of make sense. It is. I still, like I said, I agree with you. Disagree with AP. I think it still is kind of weird because you could find new players, but maybe he's just trying to build a system, build a kind of dang, the word is escaping me. Build a culture of being being getting used to his program as far as regular season.
Yeah, and I guess it could be similar to, like, you take a class and you pass it, and the professor says, "Hey, can you come talk to my class?" Like, it could be kind of like that. Like, these guys have been through it, or and this is a hot take, actually kind of random, but Jimmy Butler seemed to do really well in that old Bulls system with those guys. do you think maybe there's any thought that, hey, putting some familiar faces around Jimmy Butler that he knows works hard will convince him to not be so hasty about potentially leaving?
No, I don't think that would do it because it's not it's the younger players more than anything. It's not just the players, period.
But
More like
with
Karl
what we're
Anthony
saying
Towns
in
and
mind
Andrew Wiggins.
about grooming them, maybe, or having them, here's the guys that have been through the system, maybe that'll rub off on them. Do you think there's maybe hope that, hey, he might rub off on these young players? These young players might get to the
Yeah,
to
that's.
the
I mean, he's
potential that he's
probably
going to get.
he may have some hope there, but I'm not necessarily buying that.
Yeah, I don't know. I like. There's only so many ways I can try to make sense of it.
Right.
So it's interesting to me. Another thing I wanted to point out, speaking, and I just thought of it while talking about Joakim Noah trying to make his comeback. He's actually under a contract. Andrew Bynum is working out and
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah, I
make a
saw that.
comeback. What are your thoughts? He's only 30, so I guess
That's
anything is
crazy to
possible.
think he's
But
only 30, but I don't
right,
know. I don't see him. He not gonna make no noise. I don't think. I'm not a
you think
believer.
anybody picked him up?
Nah, nobody gonna pick him up. If
It's,
somebody's desperate, maybe like if somebody has a mid-season injury, maybe they'll pick him up. I don't think he'll be able to showcase much because he got fat, and once he got fat, he just didn't get wasn't good.
he slimmed down a lot. He looks in shape, but I don't. Everybody look good in the gym when it's a 40-year-old middle-aged, or overweight guy guarding you. Of course, you look good, but I don't know. Is it possible? Jaden said he got Wiggins on Snapchat and he be in the club every night. Maybe that's why Jimmy Butler don't want to deal with him.
That's
But the boy is only
hilarious.
22, like 21, 22.
Yeah,
It makes sense to want to get out here. But
that's pretty funny.
yeah. So anyway, I just thought that was interesting. Wanted your quick take on Andrew Bynum, but also something noteworthy. Devin Booker hurt his hand and is going to have a surgery on it, so he'll be out for a while. With Phoenix being a young team that does have some decent talent, still in the West, regardless. How big of a deal do you think that is to them? I guess either way, they're not making the playoffs, so it can't be huge. But do you? I don't know.
It's only 6 weeks. The season don't start for a while, so he'll be straight. I'm not worried about it. I
Yeah,
don't think they're worried about it.
I
The
just thought
same
that was.
thing happened to was that Klay Thompson last year? It was somebody who got injured like 6 weeks before the season, and it was like 6 weeks, and it wasn't a problem. I don't know. I feel like it was Klay Thompson. It was somebody though. I'm not sure who it was.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was. I think
But
you're right.
but yeah, it's not a problem. They'll be straight.
That ain't no problem. That ain't no problem. All right. And last but not least, a LeBron James related story because everything this man does has to be reported on by somebody. In a practice with the new look Los Angeles Lakers the other day, Rob Pelinka came out and talked about an incident that happened. He didn't drop any name, but LeBron was saying something during a scrimmage, and I guess he made a pass. Whoever this unnamed player was not ready for said pass, and LeBron said, "Hey, you like your nose?" And of course, most people would say, "Yeah." Nobody's like, "No, I can't stand it." So he
Michael
says,
Jackson.
"Well, the whole Jackson family, they doctor." Uh, and he basically says, "Hey, well, if you like your nose, be ready for these passes because if you're not, I'm gonna break it." And so a lot of people somehow made a super far reach and misconstrued it as him trying to be like Kobe Bryant, like bullying your teammates or trying to be way too tough, or he just want to imitate Kobe. But in my opinion, he was just saying, "Hey, I pass quick and these passes are hard. These are bullet passes. So if you want the ball, you got to be ready because if you're not ready, this pass is going to hit you in the face. And I mean, a basketball can be pretty hard. So it'll likely break your nose if you're not ready to catch it." So what are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's a non-story? And why are people, do you think, wanting it to be a story so bad?
Yeah, it's definitely not a story. People just trying to make something out of nothing. They need these beat writers be needing stuff to write about, which is
They just need
fair,
some clicks.
huh?
They just need some clicks.
Yeah, they just need some clicks. Um, cause yeah, it makes sense. Like if you're not ready for this pass, I'm gonna break your nose. Or like It's
Yeah.
simple. It's really simple. Um, but I don't know. Yeah, it's a non-story. I wouldn't. Like I said, these beat writers, I respect it. They need something to write about. That's their job. So I'm not blaming him. But it's nothing that really. I wouldn't jump down LeBron's throat um or anything like that. Like it's not his fault.
Yeah. So another question I do have, I would love to know from you, who do you think this player was?
Brandon
With so
Ingram.
many characters on this team, who do you think didn't catch that pass?
Brandon Ingram.
You think it was Ingram?
First player that comes to mind. I
I
don't
just
know
gotta
why.
imagine
When
with
that
him
was,
playing with Lonzo, he's gotten similar type of passes, like similar looks
I don't think it was
of
Lonzo.
passes you don't expect. No, it wasn't Lonzo. I think Lonzo was the last person that wouldn't expect to pass because he's the type of player that's looking for those passes. So I'm saying with Ingram playing with Lonzo, I feel like he would be on the lookout for those type of passes.
Nah, I think it's Lonzo.
I don't know. I
I
genuinely
mean,
feel like
Ingram.
I genuinely feel like it was Zubac.
Zubac.
I hate to say it, but dude just seems like he is cheeks. To be honest with you, like I have not seen him do anything really that productive, and he looked like he's probably not the best as far as being aware of what's going on in the first place. You got a guy like LeBron out there. These are like Zoe's passes on steroids. So I can't help but feel like Zubac just looks like a guy that's dumb. Like, and I'm not disrespecting him at all, but some people just look kind of goofy.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like he'd be that goofy dude that got hit with the ball almost all the time. And LeBron was like, "Yo, dude, first of all, if you want to still be on this team,
Right.
catch the ball. Second of all, if you value your face, catch the ball."
Right. And the only reason I say Brandon Ingram, like when you told me the story, not necessarily when you told me the story, but when you were talking about it on the show just now, I just thought of Brandon Ingram, and I only think that just because he's skinny. That's the only reason I think that he's skinny. He probably tried to catch the ball, and it just slipped through his hands. He wouldn't. So that's what I thought about.
Fair enough. I thought that was the funniest part. Kind of trying to, speculate who it was. So, like I said, this will be a fun Lakers team to watch. There's some interesting characters and personalities on the team, so it'll be fun to watch.
JaVale. Jay said JaVale McGee.
Yeah.
AP said Caldwell Pope. I forgot about him. I don't think it was him.
Yeah.
I don't, he dark skinned. He tough. I don't anything
yeah. Couldn't break his nose if you tried.
I'm just playing. I just play AP. But yeah, that's it. We go ahead, go to speaking of shouting. Did you want?
Well, I got something to shout about.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord! Surprise appearance. He came in like Stone Cold.
Oh, right. What's up, Adrian? How you doing today?
What's good, y'all? What's good? How y'all doing, fam?
Good. Oh, he was ready. He was ready to jump in.
On this part of the show.
What'd you say?
I was waiting on this part of the show.
I see. You was ready to jump in.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make it quick. That Ray Allen corner shot still hurt.
Okay.
All right. And then I just don't like how when I pre-order 2K and they tell me it's gonna be ready a day early, that I gotta wait till 11. That don't make sense to me. That seemed like it's a scam, but that's all right. I'm gonna wait for it though. But that's all I gotta say.
Well, we appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, thanks for your time, mate. Valued.
Hey, ever since you first said that speaking to Sheldon about Ray Allen, I've constantly reminded you of it. So
yeah,
I'm constantly seeing stuff about it. Like it has resurfaced since I started saying it.
Since you said something, because it was right around he was getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. So you picked a really bad time to bring up that old wound because it's all over the place now.
Yeah, and it hurts the more I see it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. By the way, congratulations, Ray Allen.
Yeah, shout out to him.
So anyway, Josh, carrying on. What you speaking and shouting about today?
I'm well, I don't really know if I'm speaking or shouting. No, I'm speaking. Watching Monday Night Football. the Detroit and Jets game, there was a female announcer, and I love it.
Okay.
So shout out to her. Let me see. I gotta pull up her name real quick. I tweeted it. Oh, Beth Mowens. Shout out to Beth Mowens. Yeah. Speaking of commentating the Monday Night Football game, I love it. She did, from what I heard, she was doing a great job. It was natural. She was describing the game. I actually enjoyed her voice. So yeah, shout out to Beth Mowens. Unfortunately, she's not gonna be doing Monday Night Football every week. This is just one of those. The opening week has two Monday night games. But I hope to see her on something else, other football games. Like, this is honestly probably the first lady that I heard call and she was the main play-by-play commentator. She wasn't
Hey.
the color guy.
Okay.
So it was mostly her, and she was anchoring it, and she did a hell of a job from what I heard. So shout out to Beth Mowens. That's awesome. It honestly inspires me. It makes me feel like that I can get a shot, because I honestly feel like I don't have like the deepest voice. My voice is a little higher, and to hear her voice, it sounded really good. It sounded amazing. Hey, don't be laughing at me.
So you're happy because her female voice sounded good enough that maybe your light male voice would work?
Yeah. That's not the only reason I was happy, but I thought about that.
I feel you, man.
I just hearing somebody else do it, it made me like, it made me like confident, like, okay, I can do this.
Right. Like, I guess it makes you feel like there's not a set like typecast as far as commentators are concerned. Like, if they've allowed a woman to do it, because generally women are like the last to get that shot with things involving sports. Women get that shot last. So I guess like one way to look at it, in the most respectful way possible, if women are getting their chance, then that makes you feel like more people are open to giving other people chances. It's not just white men.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the other thing. It's showing that they're trying to be diverse, whether she's black or white.
Right.
It's a
just
lady.
Like a woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lady.
I can't think of. There's only a couple of black announcers that I know of, like Gus Johnson. And there's probably a couple more, but that if they're not the color guy, which typically are former players, they're not calling the games at all. So,
yeah,
it gives me some hope. But more than anything, it's just dope to see them let a lady do it.
Yeah, that's dope. I dig it. Women deserve that opportunity because I know plenty of girls that are actually really good at talking about sports. Somebody asked me about women being on our show. And I said, we're not just going to do it for the sake of having a woman on here, but, there are women that know their stuff. Those are the ladies that absolutely get them on here. So ladies, if you're in the comments or a lady that's knowledgeable, put her on. Give her this platform as we work. But, so I think that's really dope to give a woman the opportunity to do that. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Step in the right direction. One thing that is going in the right direction in the NFL.
Yeah, kind of, sort
of. Got to throw a jab in.
Right. No fun league. But
Absolutely.
Mr. Rev Raw, are you speaking or shouting today?
I think I'm shouting at the fact that it is AP mentioned it, and this is sports related, so I believe with the fact that 2K is right around the corner for me. Somebody that decided to be tight-fisted with his pockets and didn't want to spend $100 on it is going to get it for much cheaper. Actually, I think I'm going to get it for $30 because I'm going to game share it with my younger cousin. And it's what a time to be alive. I missed a whole year of 2K, so it'll be nice to have 2K back. And just as a video game lover, if you are one of those, you've got Call of Duty around the corner, and the betas are looking pretty good. You've got 2K out right now. EA is out. Madden is out.
Red Dead Redemption is coming out.
Red Dead Redemption is coming out. If you're a PlayStation 4 guy,
Spider-Man. That's on Xbox too.
That Spider-Man game?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Red Dead Redemption. My bad.
Oh, no. That Spider-Man game, they got that on lock.
Yeah.
So it's just, what a time to be alive as a video game fan. A lot of people have gotten really sick of Fortnite this, Fortnite that, and it's the game that just like took over the summer basically, because there wasn't really much else going on. It just had everybody really locked in. So as a video game fan, it's a good time because the choices are beginning to get diverse, and you can kind of step away from Fortnite and have something reliable to enjoy for the next several months if you do. So
Yeah.
I think it's a good time.
Yeah. I agree. I appreciate 2K. My thoughts on 2K so far is it's I think it's better than last year in my opinion so far.
I like the
You like the what?
I like the story so far.
Yeah, I haven't even really paid attention to the story. I was just trying to play. I'm eventually.
I'm
I'm
just
gonna
trying
go.
to play the game.
Yeah, I might go back and revisit it. But as far as gameplay, I think they did improve on some stuff. Some stuff is still the same. It's still 2K, but some of the things that really like frustrated me the most about 2K, I feel like they've addressed a little bit. Um, and so far I've been having fun, but you know that can always change. This is just the first, not even a week, so it's always just that kind of being able to play it for the first time and getting used to it. But we'll see how it is.
Yeah, I think it's good. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Like I said, I like to pay attention to my player or my career storylines because sometimes they can be interesting, although sometimes they've been weak. Like last year with Be Fresh, and then the Spike Lee joint was kind of strange. But in general, my career can be pretty interesting to follow. And this year, I like the kind of journey of, hey, you're in China. Oh, you got traded. Oh, I'm in the league. No, you're in the G League. So I think it's interesting to see the progression of the player, and it actually feels like a more like storyline that you'd want to pay attention to as opposed to your annoying Asian friend that references a lot of Black culture. Like who relates to that person? You know, I've never met an Asian like that. So I think it's interesting this year the way things play out, and some of the teams will be fun to play with online and all of that. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. But let's go to wrap it up for the show. Go ahead, send us away, Rev Row Bars.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. As always, appreciate it. Got a couple new subscribers today, so definitely dig that. And also having activity in the comments. Shout out to AP for his surprise appearance. I wish I had known. I could have played some Stone Cold Steve Austin in the background. So glad he could have stormed down into yeah. I heard him smashing beer cans or something when he got in. So yeah, thanks to everybody coming. Thanks to everybody supporting. Still trying to hit that 100 subscribers goal. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And after you subscribe, hit the bell. Make sure you never miss another video. Again, thank you. Also, feel free to cash at me or Josh any money if you'd like to. Not necessarily for the show, but just out of the kindness of your heart. Aside from that, have a great night.
See ya. Peace out. Have a good week. Bye.